Welcome and thank you so much for volunteering your time and talents as a program judge for Distinguished Young Women. As a program judge, you have the responsibility to use the Distinguished Young Woman selection process to decide which participant represents the mission of our program. That mission is to empower young women to reach their full individual potential. We have carefully selected each of you to help our program identify and reward excellence. Your decision will change a young woman's life.
The core of our judging procedure is impartiality. We ask that our judges sign a statement of impartiality to ensure they have no pre-existing relationships with any participant. It is very important to the integrity of our process that there not be any hint of favoritism from our evaluators. We ask that you not applaud any of the participants during the show, either individual performances or group routines, so that there is no appearance of favoritism. But after the scores have been tallied and the winners announced, please feel free to applaud those participants. Another important part of maintaining the integrity of our judging procedure is that all parts of the participant evaluations remain completely confidential. Nothing discussed in the interviews, deliberation, or scoring rooms can be released or discussed with volunteers, participants, or other people. In fact, during the showcase period, judges may not even discuss the participants with each other, only during the deliberation. While it is completely appropriate to tell a participant after the showcase has concluded that you enjoyed meeting her or watching her perform, it is never appropriate to say anything further. Please refrain from saying anything such as, "I was surprised you didn't win," or "I was hoping you would get a talent award." You should also never give the new representative any kind of direct feedback. You may share recommendations with the judge's chair to be used in helping the representative prepare for the next level, but it should always go to the judge's chair and not directly to the girl or her family. All scoring materials and notes should be left with the judge's chairman so they can be maintained confidentially or disposed of properly. In each of the 4 categories the judges panel views, the participant will be given a score between 1 and 10. Do not give fractions of points, only whole numbers, and you may not give a score of 0. Use the full range of scores available. A 5 is an average performance. Increase or decrease the score according to the participant's performance. A 10 should be reserved for a near perfect effort. The most important thing is to stay consistent for each scoring category. Realize you are not ranking the participants or comparing them to one another as you score them. You may end up giving a group who deserve 5s all of them a 5. If so, please do it. Keep in mind that you are to judge a participant's performance in each category independent of her performance in another. If you loved her in an interview, do not give her inflated scores in other categories if she does not earn them. During fitness and self-expression, many judges use a system of pluses and minuses on the judges' score sheets or scoring labels. If possible, make short notes. Remember that fitness moves quickly and you will need to be watching the routine. Briefly, here's what you should be looking for in each category. Interview. Does she express herself well, including use of correct grammar? Does her intelligence come through? Is she sincere? Does she seem genuine? Does she answer the questions fully and express her thoughts clearly? Does she exhibit good posture and grooming? Please note that the judges will continue asking questions until the timekeeper ends the interview at 10 minutes. Interviews should not be stopped for the participant to give a prepared statement. Fitness. Does she know the routine and do it fully? Is she out of breath? Does she exhibit flexibility? Does she demonstrate strength? Does she have stage presence? Is she smiling? Talent. What level of technical ability proficiency does she have? Does she have a rapport with the audience? Does the presentation emphasize her strengths? Does she have showmanship? Does she project well? Is her selection appropriate for a high school student? Is the costume appropriate for the selection and appropriate for a high school student? Please remember to only evaluate what the participant does on stage. If anything done off stage cannot be factored as you score her talent. An example would be if a dancer says she choreographed a routine, this cannot be proven, so she should not factor that into her score. Or if a girl is displaying art, you can only score the speaking she does about the art, not the art itself. Self-expression. Does she speak confidently and without nervous appearance? Does she answer questions completely or express herself clearly on a given topic? Does she have good posture? Is the outfit appropriate for a 16 to 18-year-old? Please note that participants are allowed to choose a knee-length dress or slacks and a dressy top with a special occasion look for self-expression. Local programs may also choose to have their participants wear interview attire instead. You should receive a copy of the Program Judge's Handbook explaining the process, the aforementioned statement of impartiality, and participant info sheets before program day. Participant info sheets are 2 pages containing information about each participant that the participants fill out themselves. These 3 pages may be mailed to you or sent digitally. You should bring all 3 with you the day of the program. Once you arrive for the interviews and program showcase, you will receive a Program Judge's binder containing participant score sheets, category balance, the showcase program book, extra paper for notes, and you may receive a sheet of fitness and self-expression scoring labels. However, many smaller programs do not use these. Participant score sheets have a photo of the participant plus areas to make notes for both interview and talent, as well as a place to record all the scores you give a participant. This is useful in case a participant is part of the deliberation process. If a program provides scoring labels, there is a place to attach those for deliberations as well. Category ballots are what you will record scores on and then return to the judge's chairman to be entered by the tabulator into the master score sheet. You must sign each ballot and include your judge's number. Please make sure that you use the correct ballot for each category. If you must change a score, draw a single line through the incorrect score, then write the correct score and initial next to it. After the final category is completed, the program judges will be excused and will return to the judge's room for deliberation. For at-large programs, both in-person and digital, there is no deliberation process since representatives are selected based on point totals. Any ties for category awards will be broken first if these awards will be presented. The participants involved in the tie will be given, and the judges should write their names on their tiebreaker ballots. The girl that the judges feel should get the award should be circled, and the tiebreaker ballot signed with the judge's number and turned in to the judge's chairman. After all ties have been broken, the names of the participants who will be deliberated upon will be given to the judges in no particular order, and the deliberation ballots will then be passed out. The panel will deliberate on one more participant than needed. For example, if a top 8 is to be announced, the panel will deliberate on the 9 highest scores. Write in one candidate name per deliberation ballot. You will then have 5 minutes to look over your notes and scores for each candidate. To begin, the judge's chairman will give the panel the Scholastic average for all participants. Please remember that our Scholastic score is on a 1 to 93 scale. This scale does not correlate to a school's academic scale where 90 to 100 is an A. The 93 points are earned after the Scholastic judge evaluates the participant's GPA, which is worth up to 50 points, test scores, valued at up to 30 points, strength of schedule, worth up to 10 points, and academic extracurricular participation, worth up to 3 points. For example, a girl who earns a 77 Scholastic score is typically a straight A student with a 30 ACT. So compare the score a girl receives to the average of the group to see how she ranks against her peers. A good way to organize your information for each deliberation candidate is to add up the scores for interview, talent, fitness, and self-expression. For example, 9 plus 7 plus 4 plus 8 equals 28. Divide that by 4 for an average score of 7. Using 7 as your point of reference, you can then increase or decrease or even leave your score based upon the information obtained in deliberation discussions and her Scholastic score. This process eliminates picking a number out of thin air. Deliberation will begin with judge number 1, who will have 30 seconds to discuss the participant. Judges need to be as specific as possible when presenting their opinion. Saying the participant is above average does not help others know what you mean. Tell what above average looks like. After all judges have discussed that candidate, the tabulator or judge's chairman will give that candidate's Scholastic score. At that point, the judge will place a 1 to a 10 in deliberation ballot and pass them to the judge's chairman. The same process will be followed by the remaining finalists. If a program is a non-finalist format, the judging is complete. The judge's chairman can inform the judges of the winners. In a finalist format, the deliberation determines the participants who will compete in the finals. In this round, the program's judges will then rescore each finalist in fitness, talent, and self-expression, and the judge will follow the same procedure for scoring as they did in the preliminary round. Once all scores have been collected, the tabulator will tally the scores and add in each participant's Scholastic and interview scores again. There is no additional deliberation after the finalists have presented their onstage categories. Final rankings are determined solely by the finalist scoring added after deliberation. The judge's chairman can determine if there is time or ability to tell the judges the winners.
Thank you again for serving as a Distinguished Young Woman Program Judge. We value your professionalism and expertise and greatly appreciate your help in empowering young women to strive for personal excellence and growth.